Voyager 1 spacecraft sent back pictures of man's closest look yet.
We can measure the data from these videotapes.
Voyager 1 was sent into space over 4 decades ago to explore the cosmos, and from that time until now, it has continued to make groundbreaking discoveries in space. Its latest transmission has terrified even the renowned astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson and the scientific community. The transmission reported that 500 unknown objects had just passed by Earth. Could these objects be real or result from data transmission errors? Or could they be of extraterrestrial origin? Join us as we uncover the mystery of the 500 unidentified objects Voyager 1 encountered. 500 unknown objects passing by in space. Voyager 1 has been exploring the cosmos for nearly 5 decades and has been doing its duty by sending priceless information back to Earth. However, their last communication was very different, providing weird readings that made its radar active and went against the present scientific explanations. Famous astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson scrutinized the information, conducted simulations, consulted other physicists, and explored all possible interpretations. However, none of them could account for the existence of 500 unspecified objects found by Voyager 1 while moving through the blank space in the universe. According to Neil deGrasse Tyson, this discovery could be a turning point for astronomy, like the Tunguska outburst of 1908. This is much like an asteroid that dramatically changed the Earth's landscape, while Voyager 1 has opened our eyes to a whole new universe and its contents that are different from what we currently understand. Since discovering these unknown objects, astronomers and scientists have been head over heels trying to figure out what they are. Voyager 1's discovery could mark the end of what we know about the universe, an increasingly fragmented photograph put together after years of hard scientific labor. It is a revelation that can unify the disintegrated parts into one integrated set, like the exoplanets, dark matter, dark energy, and even the multiverse. Could this be an indication of extraterrestrial intelligence? Could the only messenger of humankind have fallen into a foreign civilization? Voyager 1. Space travel is a true miracle of human engineering. Voyager 1 surpasses distance and time boundaries. Its story of technical prowess and enduring the odds makes for an incredible saga. A distributed computer network is the heart of Voyager 1, a setup with 3 pairs of dual redundant computers operating concurrently to maintain continuity even if one system has malfunctioned. This very smart design enables the spacecraft to adjust itself and face any problems to ensure its crucial task. Voyager 1's instruments may not use the hardwired logic of simplicity, but they are remarkable nonetheless. In tribute to inventors' intelligence, they developed these complex circuits to work under power, budget, and time specifications. However, what is truly miraculous is how Voyager 1 manages power. The problem remains constant, with the energy supply having to be optimized in the most efficient way possible, as the distance of the spacecraft from the Sun poses problems. Engineers carefully inspected each system, and non-essential components were disabled. The power consumption of trivial things like instrument heaters was closely monitored and deemed unimportant for the main mission objectives. Voyager 1 overcomes its limitations due to its extended distance from the Sun by selectively powering down some of its non-essential systems. This exceptional approach shows the commitment and insightfulness of the engineers who made this feat possible. Turning down the light on Voyager 1 is no flippant act. It was an orchestration of engineering and scientific collaboration spanning miles. Therefore, the team needed to strike a delicate balance between maintaining power and capturing valuable information. Any of those systems on Voyager 1 was a delicately crafted instrument, and silencing one could cause dissonance in the entire system. Scientists and engineers gathered together, pouring through data and simulations like performers rehearsing for a complex concerto. Each note and every one of the scientific observations needed to remain clear and unchanged as the power supplies became fewer. Voyager 1 continued further into uncharted territories of a cosmic wilderness, leaving the sun's warm embrace back home. Like a species evolving in a changing environment, Voyager 1 had to adapt to survive in this frigid realm. The team learned to adjust their energy consumption as the spacecraft moved farther away. They learned to forecast and counteract the continuous solar wind changes to enhance efficiency while avoiding waste. It was a ceaseless dance, a delicate tango of technology with the unknown. Eventually, the years went by, bringing with them new power management techniques. In addition, new power distribution lines were built in the market, and efficient battery charging systems were developed. The changes brought new vibrancy to the orchestra inside Voyager 1. Due to this well-planned distribution of power, Voyager 1 overcame the odds. The craft was designed only for a 5-year journey, but made a grand tour of the solar system, sending back priceless data that rewrote textbooks of our knowledge about the universe. Its adventure, a symbol of human creativity, inventiveness, and the perennial search for knowledge against the backdrop of the unknown, is still going on. The human ingenuity, in the form of Voyager 1, still went on without wavering through the unknown space. It had been launched almost half a century earlier and kept functioning, returning essential information that helped create a picture of the cosmos. This involved the exceptional devotion and expertise of thousands of scientists and engineers who kept it alive. Nevertheless, the universe had some mysteries that could not be grasped, no matter how well planned and engineered the process. Deep space was unpredictable, offering surprising meetings with unknown phenomena. One of these twists occurred when Voyager 1 started transmitting unreliable telemetry information back home. These enigmatic signals had anomalies and were inexplicable. The researchers were baffled. It was gibberish, rubbish, and the last place for sense. Though the transmission was corrupted, Voyager 1 responded to the commands sent from Mission Control, though they seemed delayed. However, this response again raised another puzzlement. Onboard fault protection systems designed to protect the spacecraft from anomalies did not wake up. They did not switch on, putting Voyager 1 nakedly in the face of the unknown. This was unusual and added more to the curiosity. The whole thing was illogical, contravened protocol, and haunted the scientists with questions. However, why didn't the fault protection system say anything? What caused this peculiar transmission? Was Voyager 1 subject to some unknown influence? The researchers kept exploring the spacecraft systems until they got the answers. This took them to the AACS, the Altitude and Articulation Control Subsystem, a critical part that is used for attitude control and steering. To their astonishment, they discovered the source of the corrupted data, an old, outdated computer, long abandoned and no longer thought fit. The rusty gears of this relic, which had remained dormant for years, were now turning again. This had penetrated the telemetry transmission process and corrupted the information into a scrambled mass of gibberish. Collection and interpretation of information. Back on Earth, the Voyager 1 mission team faced a formidable challenge, bringing back function and examining the existence of the 500 unknown objects floating in the huge space. Although the proposal appeared simple-minded, it was not a walk in the park, as their solution was high risk. The most significant challenge emanated from the delay associated with communicating with Voyager 1 because it is 14.6 billion miles from Earth. Communication with Voyager 1 was similar to placing a message in the ocean and waiting for an answer after 22 hours of traveling at the speed of light. The mission team persevered through this agonizing wait, driven by a shared ambition to discover the puzzles of the cosmos and get to know life outside our world. Earth's deep space network was covered 180 degrees all around our planet, a vast arrangement consisting of numerous giant radio dishes. The locations for the stations were selected in California, Spain, and Australia, with communication between Voyager 1 and these stations being maintained through what can be termed a cosmic fingers chain that stretched through the interstellar void. DSN employed certain frequencies for communicating with Voyager 1 using radio waves. Coded signals moved at 2.1 gigahertz, while data traveled across space like whispers in the cosmos at 2.0 or 8.4 gigahertz. Yet even light took 22 strenuous hours to travel from Earth to where Voyager 1 is. Voyager 1's journey. On September 5, 1977, the Voyager 1 spacecraft embarked on a mission of remarkable simplicity and ambition, an epic journey to the solar system's mysteries. One could not imagine this journey as an adventure in space exploration and an achievement for the human spirit in its attempt to go beyond the limits of the known and unknown worlds. The voyage began with a surprising turn of events. Before it reached Jupiter, Voyager 1 sent fascinating pictures of the gas giant, showing its whirling cloud bands and the Great Red Spot. While Voyager 1 was getting closer to Jupiter, it made the first ever pictures that showed an unseen and close-up view of a monster planet. The storms swirled around the world in awe as the Great Red Spot morphed into a mesmerizing vortex of red and gold. Nevertheless, the biggest of all these revelations was still uncovered. The Jovian moon, Io, would drastically redefine what we knew about volcanism. Voyager 1 showed that the moon's landscape was covered in yellow, orange, and brown colors, mixed with active lava eruptions that emitted streams of sulfur particles. This finding was the first indisputable indication of active volcanism outside Earth. The journey of Voyager 1 went beyond the first contacts with Jupiter and Saturn. It traveled beyond Uranus and ultimately arrived at the farthest solar planet, Neptune. Every encounter revealed new mysteries and broadened our knowledge of the universe. The spacecraft saw complex ring systems, observed the dance of moons, and studied the active atmospheres of the planets. However, in 2012, Voyager 1 surpassed another historical milestone by penetrating the solar bubble and entering interstellar space, thereby becoming the first artificial entity to achieve such a feat. This was an amazing jump in human discovery into the unknown, leaving a footprint in the huge cosmic sea. Strangely enough, these significant findings rarely saw the light of day. A potential malfunction could have easily silenced a mission. Nevertheless, engineers traced and repaired the fault through close study and unrelenting conviction, reviving the spacecraft's lease of life. Voyage 1 continued its spectacular course and brought some other unexpected results. While approaching Jupiter, an unexplained ring system appeared in space. These rings were dim and made of dust particles, further enhancing the mystery surrounding the gas giant. It went on to Europa, yet another of the volcanic moons encased in a 60-mile thick ice sheet. The idea that life could exist at such hostile depths was very interesting. Despite the tough struggle against the sun's pull, Voyager 1 demonstrated the intelligence to outrun it. The ingenuity was shown through what was referred to as gravity assist, whereby the probe was projected into the direction of Saturn by the planet's gravitational force. This was a strategy of scientists who carefully calculated it to enable Voyager 1 to attain speeds beyond imagination, even for Earthian science. However, another ringed giant, Saturn, also demonstrated its secrets. Voyager 1 was enshrouded in a thick, yellowish haze of Titan, Saturn's biggest moon. Amazingly, this finding sparked a lot of controversies about how complex Titan's atmosphere is and the possibility of harboring life. Nevertheless, Voyager 1 went further into the unknown, and an important choice was about to arise. Faced with dwindling power reserves, the choice arose: either turn off the cameras to conserve resources or take one last image set. Carl Sagan, a well-known astronomer, advocated for the latter with great certainty. Such images would be a parting gift from the great abyss of outer space. Voyager 1 turned its lens towards the inner solar system on February 14, 1990. It yielded 60 impressive photos, including the pale blue dot picture. From 3.8 billion miles away, the Earth is a tiny dot that can hardly be seen among everything. Voyager 1 continued to send important data from extraterrestrial space for more than 4 decades, showing that even in the case of mankind's journey toward the cosmos, we always keep moving forward. Using 8-track tapes in this mission is a great example of how we can make things possible. Despite the anachronistic appearance of 8-track tapes in the modern era, this choice speaks volumes for the digital storage technology in its infancy. The tapes can hold 84 minutes of information in each case. Therefore, they are reliable under the harsh conditions of a space environment. However, their content was beyond normal. Instead of music or entertainment, they held a priceless treasure trove. They provided information about the outer planets, the solar system, their moons, and the mysterious distances out in interstellar space. Neil deGrasse Tyson take. Now, fast forward to 2023. Voyager 1, having journeyed beyond the solar system, has detected something remarkable. 500 unbeknownst to human beings crossing space. The 500 unknown objects are not simply astronomical oddities heralding a new age of knowledge. They question universality, making us reconsider our view of the universe and our position in it. What are these 500 objects, however? Are these just renegade asteroids, pieces left behind by an ancient collision in the sky? And maybe interstellar icebergs containing water from faraway star systems? The famous Neil deGrasse Tyson has sparked a cosmic riot as he divulges how the fearless Voyager 1 probe discovered 500 mysterious items. The mysterious bodies flying through interstellar space have sent the scientific world shockwaves of amazement and fear. Many want to know their reason for being, where they are going, and how they may affect us. The concept of panspermia, or the existence of life somewhere and its capacity to move in space aboard comets and meteoroids, remains captivating. Could these 500 items be envoys holding life's seeds? We imagine that alien creatures might travel in our intergalactic buses, or even a whole universe of weird and unearthly biologies. Another interesting option could be the presence of shadow biospheres, hypothetical ecosystems dwelling on the Earth that may have different biochemistry. It then follows that these mysterious beings may be the remnants of such shadow biospheres, which have taken root in different planets and, therefore, might represent an alternative reality, in the existence of which the foundation of life is set on other chemical principles than those we know of in our. Tyson remains as wary as ever, cautioning against jumping to conclusions. He puts stress on the requirement that the origin, as well as function, of the objects should be established with rigorous research and empirical evidence. Thank you for watching another episode of Voyager. While you are still here, click the video on your screen to see more mind-blowing videos.